Good day guys and welcome back. We have here one more Pauper deck tech which we found from the recent uploads on the MTG Top 8 website. I think this is from a major tournament, I think from Brazil, LGS or event organized for the Pauper, and we check this one as just a monocolor or the mono white version of the Heroics deck. So if you're not familiar with this kind of strategy, Heroic is that does with creatures that gets value whenever you cast a spell that target it. So for a good example here would be the Laguna Band Trailblazer. This is a 1-2 cast or 1 white mana 0/4 Centaur Scout. Whenever it becomes targeted by a spell or cast a spell that targets it, put a +1 counter on the Laguna Band Trailblazer. So we're going to check on this list. I think it finished in the top 4 of that specific event. So I arranged this one as the grid type of view. We have 17 creatures, 22 enchantments, 4 instants, and just 17 lands to go with the curve. And of course, a little bit of sideboard later on. So we check first what are the choices for the target of the Heroics. So we have 4 copies again of the Laguna Band Trailblazer. And then we have 2 copies of the Skyguard. So the Skyguard also goes with that setup of the heroic effect, but the good thing is that it is of a flying. So it means that very evasive in most of the common league setting of the Pauper metagame. So we just need to have this one resolved and do a lot of effects to enchant it and get it pump basically. So the other creatures that kind of also benefit for that, but not under the heroic setting or heroic ability, are your 4 copies of the Sacred Cat. So you can see here, it's just a 1/1 for 1 with the lifelink, and can also be used later on for the embalm cost for this setup. So in a case, if you have not yet drawn your heroic creatures, you can just use Sacred Cat, pump it with most of your enchantments, particularly Ethereal Armor, and then go from there and winning the board or damage race with the lifelink effect, and also having a good high powered and toughness creature on your board. So the other card or creatures that goes with the support are your 4 copies of Benevolent Bodyguard. So this creature goes to just a 1/1, but you can sacrifice this to have a creature you control gain protection from the color with choice until end of turn. And then 3 copies of Deathblade Elite. So let's just refresh the page for a bit. So this card would go with a provoke that whenever it attacks, so may have that creature defending player controls block it if able, and then you just pay 2 to prevent all combat damage dealt to and dealt by the elite. So the purpose here of this creature basically gets you to have the best blocker of your opponent, to go with the Deathblade Elite, prevent that damage, and let your best creature do the bigger damage output for a single combat or a combat situation. Now for a rundown of your enchantments, of course we have 4 copies of the armor. It gets +1 for each enchantment you control and has first strike. We have 4 copies of the Cartouche of Solidarity. It also gets you to enchant the creature as a +1 and has first strike, but it just gets you also a bonus of a creature with a 1/1 white warrior creature token with vigilance. And that also we have Hyena Umbra. That's 4 copies. It gets also goes to first strike with your target or enchanted creature, and the bonus is that you can get this totem armor, wherein if enchanted creature would be destroyed, remove all damage from it and destroy this aura. So in a way, in any case that it gets destroyed to combat or destroyed by spot removals, you get to substitute the Hyena Umbra and destroy it instead. And other also were 4 copies are your Sentinel's Eyes. It gets also to +1 vigilance. At the same time, you can get to exile it for escape cost by just paying 2 other cards from your graveyard and then pay 1 white mana to cast it again. And for the other support card, we have Solid Footing that can have its enchanted creature +1 and vigilance, and having the vigilance effect, it gets to able to assign its combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. So it would be the good target here is your Laguna Band Trailblazer. So any chances that you can get this one added as a vigilance creature, you get also the bonus of dealing with the power assigned to it instead of the, the toughness assigned to it instead of the power. It's regular damage source. Now for the other enchantments that can help you with that is your copies of Benevolent Blessing. You can enchant a creature by choosing a color later on, and it has protection from the chosen color, and this effect does not remove auras and equipments you control that are already attached to it. And also a copy of Spirit Link that gets you to have enchanted creature life link or damage, Gale's damage, you gain that much life. So that is your 22 enchantments in the main deck. And then we have 4 copies of instants that can somewhat also protect your creatures. So we have 2 copies of Immerse and Scat against protection from local arbitrary choice until end of turn. We have again 2 copies of Turbine Charm, that is the new card from Modern Horizons 3. It gets to choose you to destroy target enchantment or exile in a number of target players' graveyards, or deals damage equal to twice the number of creatures you control to target creature. So in any case, you get a good utility card, and also works well in the most of the metagame call in the Pauper format. Now for the lands, in which we have only plains and 2 copies of Slid Steep to go with later on cycling for needed card draws or cards in certain situations. Now we check on the sideboarding setup. It goes well with lifelink effects against affinity and also graveyard shenanigans. So starting off with 3 copies of Beacon Apparition, it goes to exile cards from graveyard and also create you a 1/1 white and black spirit creature token with flying, which can also do an advantage to your board and also act as an attacker. We have copies of Death Speakers, which has protection from black, a 1 to cast 1/1 protection from black, which goes to prevent also some of the best spot removals in the format, which is also sourced in black under the black color. So we have also Obsidian Acolyte to get you to protect on itself and also have your creature against protection from black until end of turn. So with that, we have for the affinity are your Fragmentize that can we cast for 1 mana, but sorcery speed will not really matter here because most of the time it would get to destroy a benefit of the target artifact or enchantment with converted mana cost 3 or less. So that's 3 copies in the deck. Also added effect against more maybe creature based Winnie or aggro. We have 2 copies of Gutshot that can also be used of dire situations. Just pay 2 life and then target your own creature to add the heroic triggers if needed. And of course, we have additional Spirit Links, that's 3 copies given from the 1 copy in the main deck, so we can have higher chances for you to draw this card and also get your best creature enchanted with the lifelink effect and do the damage raise better for you and gain you more of the advantage. And last but not the least, our copy of Double Cleave. In any instance, you need to deal double strike and have your target creature gain that ability, then Double Cleave will be your best card choice here, and also gets you to trigger the heroic effect. And last but not the least, average value is 1.16, mostly white, and we have especially tokens here which are generated with the effects of example the Sacred Cat, the Spirit token from the Beacon Apparition, the Beacon, what do you call this, Beacon Apparition, and then the Warrior token as generated by the white cartouche or the cartouche of Solidarity. So I guess that's pretty much it for this deck. This is like a very simple kind of deck strategy for the mono white, making it more consistent if you strategize with a single color effect instead of putting on the typical Boros. And if you really try this one during your MTG online dailies or rank matchups, just let me know in the comments below what you think of this build. We might have some adjustment here on this card, maybe on this one. Just let me know. Just we can have a good discussion of this deck as we get to improve it for the coming upgrades in the Pauper metagame. So I guess that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for watching this one. We have again our mono white heroic Pauper deck, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and see you guys on the next video.